So I think the most important thing for everybody to know is that you have a purpose. Like you really have a purpose. And the other night I was having like a bunch of downloads just about so many different things, but the main things that I want to touch on is like purpose. Like for me, I'm realizing like, I think first off, for a long time, like I kind of struggled trying to figure out what my purpose was or figure out like what was it that I was supposed to be like doing with my life. And I feel like everybody kind of has that, not everybody, but majority of people kind of have that like inner struggle to try to figure out like what are they supposed to be doing with their lives, and why are they here, and or at least everybody has like asked that question at least once in their life. And so I'm having these downloads because I have been contemplating on this for a little while. I was having these downloads and just having all this information come in, and I'm thinking about all these different things, and I'm like, what is my purpose really? It should just, you know, truly, truly love myself and truly take care of myself and truly nurture myself and truly just develop a really, really solid and healthy relationship with myself. Because, in in my life in particular, I can kind of tell that, just with the relationship with my parents and the relationships that I've had, just growing up, I needed to understand, or, my life was setting me up to understand that the most important relationship that you're ever going to have is the one that you have with yourself. And, I just turned 25 and I'm really getting to a point where I understand what that means and I understand how that looks and how that shows up, in all of your other relationships that you have outside of yourself. And so I started to just think about my life and I'm like, okay, it makes sense now. Like a lot of things make sense. I don't, nothing happens on accident. Everything's for a reason. And so it makes sense now to, that like for me in particular, I have been so drawn towards just taking good ass care of myself, just loving myself, doing, all of the things that make me feel good, make me feel whole, make me feel happy, and really just focusing on that and nothing else. Like, I really feel like my purpose really is to just live a good life in terms of just truly doing what makes me happy. Like, truly just being in alignment with all of the things that bring me joy and bring me happiness, because I feel like, that's something that, like, a lot of people say. It's so many flies out here. Oh my God. It's craziness. And it's hot. But there's so many, like, just different instances in my life where it's like, I was just thinking back and I'm like, I really just need to be taking better care of myself. I really like life would be so much easier if I just did this, if I just did that. Like if I really will allow me to show up better for myself. Because I'm like, but just so much throughout my life, I've always been so focused on everybody else and like just, never really having to focus on myself. Never really like just being with myself because, I just never really valued myself. I never really like paid attention to myself and my needs and what was important to me and what I needed and things like that. And I feel like a lot of people do that. A lot of people just kind of naturally just, just put themselves last. And nothing happens for no reason. Nothing in this life is an accident. And I started to realize like this is, I've been really into like the soft girl life and just feminine energy, and just learning about it. And I know a lot of people have. It's kind of becoming like a trend, but I think trends are really just this collective, like, understanding of something, or this collective, like, understanding that this is relevant, or this is important. This is get into this type of thing, like, and so that's why, or like it started to make sense to me. Like this is why I have this urge to just care for myself and just love myself and put myself on the pedestal and just put myself first, because this is like a need. This is like all women need to do this. All women need to start to understand that they don't need to be putting themselves last, and they don't need to be like just overdoing themselves and just putting themselves in messed up situations and just not loving themselves. Like life really does, you really do create your reality. You really do create your life. And for women, I just feel like we hold this magnificent power in us, and I really just need for us to just get into that, like get into that. And so, because it's life changing and it's necessary, like it's the first self care is the care of yourself. Before you take care of your outer appearance, you need to take care of the inside. Both of them are important, but it's just like when you start to fill yourself up energetically, and you start to really just what I, just to be blunt, when you start to just notice you the shit, and you really start to just move in that energy, that's when your life really changes and improves. And so many of us have these ancestral like wounds and traumas of just neglecting ourselves and not loving ourselves and not caring for ourselves, and just all of these different things that just take us away from self. Like nobody really teaches, or I don't say nobody, but I feel like a lot of people kind of go through this, just upbringing where nobody really teaches you how to truly love you and cherish you and nurture you. So many people are coming to spirituality. So many people are really understanding that, the truth about this reality, and the truth about how this reality works. And for women in particular, you know how we really are. I don't know how to say it. Like we really are it. We really are like we're running this. We're running this. We're running this shit. Let me just be blunt. But no, like women really do hold so much power and just so much power, so much just power, baby. Power is the only word that I can think of right now. Cause I'm really trying to rush because I got all these flies around me and my phone is like about to die. But women hold so much power, and it feels really good to be a woman. Like I'm so proud and happy to be a black woman because, baby, we hold the power, honey. Okay. So I've just been doing so much learning about feminine energy, and just really getting to feminine, really healing my feminine energy, and really just balancing my masculine and my feminine energy because, you know, I've just been getting to this energy of just, wanting to just grow and believe in myself and just really nurture my talents and nurture my gifts and just nurture myself. Like I've just been wanting to nurture myself and really just pour into myself because, these last couple of years for me have been just, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, but I just know that all of the things that I've done would have been propelled had I already been pouring into myself and already been nurturing myself. So I kind of consider myself like a late bloomer because it's like I'm just now getting to this point of life where I'm understanding the importance of pouring into yourself. And I always think about the quote, you can't pour from a cup that is empty. You have to, what is it? Basically, you can't pour from an empty cup. So I'm always just thinking about pouring into my cup and just different ways that I can do that because I've always been like a very emotional person and a very like connected person. I just didn't realize like what it was about and what it was, but it was just little things I can look back and say like I've always been like in touch with myself. I just didn't understand it and I took it for granted and I kind of lost that growing up, but it feels really good to be getting back into that and just, like I said, learning. I always say, I'm grateful for knowledge because knowledge truly is power. And, I just really want to encourage like every woman, every young lady to just love herself and really get to know herself and really just start pouring into herself if she isn't already. Because baby, when you do that, your life changes drastically. And I think the most important thing is just feeling good. I think the most important thing on this planet, or the most important like thing to aspire to like do or accomplish, is just feeling good. Like, of course, life isn't gonna always be peaches and cream, but as long as you can find your center and happiness, and as long as you can kind of balance yourself into like just gratefulness and happiness, then you're good. Or you'll be okay. And so, baby, love yourself, start pouring into yourself, and that's all I have to say.